All right, so we are continuing with reading the book of Esther, and today we are looking at Esther chapter 6. If this is the first time you are coming across these videos, I have videos from Esther chapter 1 to chapter 5, and what we really want to do is read these in sequence so that we understand the account. All right, I am Rachel Hunt, and I love Bible discussions, Bible readings, looking at different stories in the Bible and seeing what message the Lord has in it for us. So today we are looking at Esther chapter 6, and I'm going to read through, and I encourage you to read with me. I may stop in between to give a little bit of commentary or a little bit of backstory. So let's jump right in. That night, the king could not sleep. So he ordered the book of the Chronicles, the record of his reign, to be brought in and read to him. It was found recorded there that Mordecai had exposed Bigthana and Cheresh, two of the king's officers who guarded the doorway, who had conspired to assassinate King Xerxes. What honor and recognition has Mordecai received for this? The king asked. Nothing has been done for him, his attendants answered. The king said, who is in the court? Now Haman had just entered the outer court of the palace to speak to the king about impaling Mordecai on a pole he had set up for him. So I'm just going to pause there and say that we need to read chapter 1 to chapter 5 to understand who these players is. Mordecai and Haman and all of these different persons and how Esther plays into that. So again, if you haven't read the previous chapters, I have them in a playlist so you can go ahead and look at those so that you will understand what's going on here in chapter 6. Really interesting stuff. All right, let's continue from verse 5. His attendant answered, Haman is standing in the court. Bring him in, the king ordered. When Haman entered, the king asked him, what should be done for the man the king delights to honor? Now Haman thought to himself, who is there that the king would rather honor than me? So he answered the king, for the man the king delights to honor, have them bring a royal robe the king has worn and a horse the king has ridden, one with a royal crest placed on his head. Then let the robe and horse be entrusted to one of the king's most noble princes. Let them robe the man the king delights to honor and lead him on the horse through the city streets, proclaiming before him, this is what is done for the man that the king delights to honor. Go at once, the king commanded Haman, get the robe and the horse and do just as you have suggested for Mordecai, the Jew, who sits at the king's gate. Do not neglect anything you have recommended. So Haman got the robe and the horse. He robed Mordecai and led him on horseback through the city streets, proclaiming before him, this is what is done for the man the king delights to honor. Afterward, Mordecai returned to the king's gate, but Haman rushed home with his head covered in grief and told Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends everything that had happened to him. His advisors and his wife Zeresh said to him, since Mordecai, before whom your downfall has started, is one of Jewish origin, you cannot stand against him. You will surely come to ruin. While they were still talking with him, the king's eunuchs arrived and hurried Haman away to the banquet Esther had prepared. All right, so again, the backstory is that Haman is not a fan of Mordecai, and he thought that the king was going to give him honor, but instead the king was giving Mordecai honor. So we will see what will happen in chapter 7. So this is a brief reading for today. Feel free to leave your questions or comments in the comment section, and let's discuss the Bible. Let's discuss Esther chapter 6 and the previous chapters and see what the word of God has to share with us.